Franny here from Franny's Sport and Travel Corner. Just want to talk to you a little bit about actually 3 games that were played yesterday. The first one being the Sparks versus Phoenix, and I really felt like the Sparks didn't come to play. Hamby was her usual self. Unfortunately, they gave her Cunningham to guard, so it took her away from the basket, so she didn't get her double-double. She wasn't around the basket as much, so that fell on Nurse, and Nurse came through, and she had a double-double. Those 2 players were the only solid players as far as I'm concerned. And why Hamby sat out in the second quarter for as long as she did when she was the only one scoring is beyond me, because the Sparks only scored 7 points in the second quarter, which was their lowest production. And I don't think you can afford to sit somebody out and then get down by the biggest margin that they've been down by, and then ask them to keep coming back. So I didn't understand that, still don't, but he must have wanted to see what the other players could do. And, you know, other people contributed with, let's say, let me see here. Nurse had 12, Brink had 6, Jackson had 9. The biggest problem they're having is Lexi Brown started. She was 0 for 7, and then somehow in the second quarter, she ended up getting a ankle injury. So they're really hurting at the guard position. Unfortunately, McDonald did not have one of her best games and was off with her shooting. And later on, Zaya Cook came in, and she got 8 points. So I think you have to rotate those 2 in and make sure McDonald's having a good game shooting or whatever, but they need some offensive punch, and they also need people that can run the floor, distribute the ball, and get the offense running. And right now, they've been taking some bad shots, taking some outside shots when they could have gotten a better shot within their offense. So they really got blown out by Phoenix, with Taurasi had 31 points. She was 7 3-pointers, and if she had 8, that would have tied her, but did not play very good defense. And I'll tell you, she did probably the best job I've ever seen of somebody getting their feet right where they need to be. So as soon as she received it, it was up there. And she's tough anyway, but her 3-point shot was really great yesterday. Cloud had 21, Cooper had 12, and Cunningham had 10. So they got a good all-around game from everybody, and that's what you need to win. Unfortunately, the Sparks did not have that. Brink had 6 and Jackson had 8, but not enough against a seasoned veteran team. So they're going to have to do a lot better. Their turnovers were still poor. They've got to decrease the turnovers, get consistent scoring. I think Brink needs to look to score a little bit more, and Jackson, when they're in there, as well as control the boards. So that's how that game went. Then let's talk a little bit about the Dallas Wings and the Minnesota Lynx game. I really liked Minnesota Lynx. They were number 1 in defense, and it showed. And they wore people down. They were up on them. They were taking away the passing lanes. Just good, solid team defense. And I love a team like that because they got a couple little interceptions or steals. I thought Collier and McBride were really important keys for them. Scoring-wise, McBride had 25 and Collier had 24. They out-rebounded the Dallas, and also Williams had 10, who was their guard, and she distributed the ball well, as well as contributed by being in double figures. It was a close game up until the fourth quarter, and Agumawale didn't hit her season average, and I think part of that was because she doesn't come out of the game. She plays every minute, which is great, but in the fourth quarter, she missed some shots that they were neck and neck until then, and then the Lynx controlled the board. So Agumawale had 21, and her average is 27. She was leading the league in scoring. So they did a good job trying to hold her intact and made the shots difficult for her. Seacrest ended up with 12, and Mo Billings had 19 points and 15 rebounds. Now, Mo Billings was somebody that was on um, she was on the Sparks team at one time, and they cut her, and she was sitting home, and there were some injuries on Dallas, and they picked her up, and boy, she really played well. I was so impressed with her. So I think they found a real find in her by, grabbing her at the right time at the right minute. But I thought she played extremely well. So it was the first time I really seen the Minnesota Lynx play. I like them as a team. They seem to enjoy each other, and a team that likes each other and works hard for each other will go a long way. They don't quite have the inside game, but yet they're the #1 defensive team, so they surround that basketball once it goes up to get that rebound, and excellent shooters from the outside and driving on the inside. I like them as a team. The last game I just want to speak about was the Fever versus the New York Liberty. Didn't watch that game and didn't have it on TV, but they beat, at home, the Liberty beat them by 36 points, and on the road they beat them by 36 points. The only thing that I'll say from what I saw in the highlights is, once again, Boston kind of got her feet tangled, so that didn't count, but our little guard Caitlin got nailed in the neck and had to go out for a little bit. Went back and had it checked up. She got hit in the ear. So I think the officials have to be aware that people are really coming after her. And I don't want to see her get injured. I don't want to see anybody get injured. But whoever's guarding her or whatever, they can't be taking those shots without having some fouls being called. So I think that's important, and they are going to rebound from that, but they need a little bit more help on the inside, a little bit more consistency, and just time to spend working together. I don't think Boston can do it all, so they're going to have to get a little bit better at that. So hope you enjoyed the commentaries of the 3 games, and I hope that you'll subscribe below, and that I'll see you again. Have a great day.